up, snitches? Welcome back to another episode of We Want Gossip with Meredith and Steph. We have a decent lineup for Gossip of the Week.
You could say.
Yeah, you could say. Give it to us, Meredith.
So for Gossip of the Week, we are so lucky because the verdict of the Johnny Depp trial just came in. Then we're going to talk about a little bit of a Bachelor update / Bachelor engagement. And then we're going to obviously talk about the finale of Siesta Key. Let's get into it.
Update.
So this past weekend was Memorial Day. Steph came over because her boyfriend was at a bachelor party.
Yep, leaving me hanging by myself, solo gal.
No problem, because she's got me to back her up.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like, so I guess we're having a sleepover this weekend is what I'm being told.
Absolutely. So we had a good time, but the day after she left, I really went all in on the new season of Stranger Things. And wow. I have like so much to say. It is so good. So Steph, tell them where you left off.
Yeah. So we've talked about this before in some of our previous episodes that I had started like right when Stranger Things like first came out back in like college.
Yes.
I had like started it. But, you know, when you're watching a show when you're alone at night, and it's like, it was giving me...
And you get scared like us.
I get so scared. It unlocks fears in my brain. Like, my imagination is off the chuds.
Yeah.
Home alone when it's dark out. Like, no thank you. And so, like, that just gave me... Like, Stranger Things gave me, like, the heebie-jeebies.
Yes.
And especially, like, at night. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I know it's not like a ghost necessarily, but it was like that...
It's
the first
still
couple
kinda
episodes
scary.
with, like, the twinkle lights.
Yeah.
And the ABCs or whatever she had around the house. And so I'd given up at that point.
Right.
And until I had somebody to, like, watch it with. And Adam had watched it like at least a season or two
Right.
of it. Like he had seen some of it. And so knowing, like, I want to say this was like 6 months ago or something, like knowing that like this new season was coming out, me and Adam were like, okay, let's try this again because now obviously I'm not watching it alone and I'm not scared. And it was good.
Yeah.
But for some reason around like the second season is like where I stopped. It's like, I think I ended where 11 was at the cops' house where he was like in that cabin, like where everybody thinks, or like the people that are looking for her think she was dead,
Right.
or something like that. Like around that time frame in season 2 is where we stopped watching. Not for a particular reason, but now that this is coming out, I think I just want to jump on into season 3 or to 4.
Yeah, 4.
4.
Where I'm like, you could almost do that just because of like the way that the seasons are lined up. You know, like the first season was the Demogorgon, which was like, they say it's kind of like, and they explain it in the new season where like the Demogorgon was like a soldier of the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer is what comes in season 3, where it's like you've been leading up in season 1 and season 2 of like,
I don't know the origin of what this is.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
So the Mind Flayer comes in season 3, and it's like this big ass alien thing. And so now in season 4, that's why I was saying like you could almost skip season 3, where they talk about they're like the Demogorgon was like its foot soldier, but the new villain of the 4th season is like its first lieutenant. It's general.
Oh my gosh.
It's the general. So you need to get in it, but it's very scary. Lots of bones breaking, lots of scary.
My God.
Yeah. That's why I was like, it's gonna be scary for you.
Yep. Because it's not supposed to be a scary show, but
No,
it's
but
an
I did
eerie
see-
show though.
I
Like,
saw a girl on
weird.
I saw a girl on TikTok that was like me thinking season 4 is gonna be like the same eerie, spooky vibes as 1 through 3, and then it's like actual bone snapping. It's scary.
Okay.
But it's good.
Wow. But it's good.
It's good. So I'm thinking you watch
Yeah.
it, but definitely one you watch with Adam.
And this is a part 1 out of part 2, like kind of thing. When does part 2 come out?
July 1st.
Oh.
So I'm so happy because I'm like, where they ended it, biggest cliffhanger you could have ever asked for. So I go, thank God that they like knew that they couldn't leave the viewers hanging. So they have volume 2 coming out in like a month.
Wow. Oh my God.
It's so good.
Also, real quick, let's talk about the fact that Top Gun just came out.
Oh, yeah.
Heard that has like insane reviews.
Yes.
We are dying to go, but it's like we've said this before. Me and Meredith are regulars at the movie theater.
Duh.
Doesn't matter which movie theater.
We are thinking about the movie pass.
We've been thinking about it for years. I don't know why we haven't done it, but it's like we are going. I'll see any movie at this point just to go to the theater.
We love the vibes.
Yeah. And so with Top Gun, everybody's raving about it, and me and Adam are like, we want to go see it. Obviously this past weekend, but then I'm like, all the people jumping on the movie theater bandwagon. I'm like, as if we own the place, but I'm like, I think we need to wait for it to die down, but I'm also literally itching at the bits.
Yes. Also, movie theaters. Like, have we talked about the movie theaters out here in Colorado before?
How fun they are.
Well, they're so much fun, and also like nothing's better than the full recline
Every
chairs.
seat. It's not NCG in Eastwood Lansing that has only the Extreme Theater with like the
It's only the
front
first row
that has like the they're all the big leather chairs, but none of them have. Only some have the extender,
the full recline.
Yeah, these ones.
Every row,
every theater, everything you're watching, you have plenty of leg room. Like,
I was talking to one of my boyfriend's cousins, and where she's at, they have these things in their movie theaters called cuddle couches, where you could get a couch, like a little love seat that reclines for you and your friend or you and your boyfriend. I would have snapped up a cuddle couch in 2 seconds.
I will pay an arm and a leg for a cuddle couch.
Are you kidding? Then you could fully, and me and Brett already bring blankets.
Right, yeah.
I'm the person that brings blankets, and I will stand by that.
And you better like expect that there's Qdoba hidden underneath that. Like
when Steph and I were in college, we decided that we were going to sneak in Qdoba because that was like our favorite meal, obviously.
Yep.
It's still like, I'm a Chipotle person now.
A burrito bowl.
Oh my God. So we're like, we're going to sneak these in. It's going to be super fun. And we were going to see the last movie of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yep, I know.
And we're thinking, we booked the seats in the very back. We're thinking there's going to be nobody in here because once again, avid
we're here every
moviegoers,
night, and it's in the middle of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, that nobody's at this movie theater that's like behind the dumpster of Applebee's.
And it's like, just because we were in college, that didn't stop the movie game. No. Steph and I would go on date nights. We would go to Applebee's, get a couple perfect margaritas, and the steak and broccoli.
And mashed potatoes. We had the exact same order every single time. We'd go in there, get a little mini buzz off of the margaritas, have our steak and broccoli, and then zoom on right in the back of the parking lot to the movie theater.
I mean, you could walk there. It was like a dream.
It
was literally...
But we got caught red-handed. We were bringing the Qdoba in to the 50 Shades of Grey movie that was packed theater.
Sold out. That was the piece
where every single seat is sold out. You are arm to arm with everybody, and we have full Qdoba bowls with chips. Because I'm not eating it with just a fork. We're eating it with the chips. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. And we're sitting by people that we also like knew from high school. Do you remember?
Yeah. And it's just like, do I really need to be watching
my
sexual movie with the crunchy chips and me
by our old peers sitting next to us?
I'm bad. Yeah. Honestly. But you know what? I think back to those Applebee's nights with the movies, and I think Chef's Kiss.
Oh, what a good time.
Remember that time I got a little too buzzed off the perfect margaritas?
Oh, yeah, tell them.
Okay, so one time we went...
She's trying to pull a fast one on me.
We went and saw Captain Marvel, and it's like, I had already seen it, loved the movie. I go, you gotta see it. And so, like she said, it is like in walking distance, so it's like, yeah, maybe I had a few perfect margaritas. And so I'm a little buzzed. And then I'm in the movie theater, and I'm getting a little sleepy. Yeah. And it's like, but I know I'm just buzzed, and I'm like tired, and it's like, I don't want to let her know that I'm sleeping. So we're sitting like this. I'm fully turned.
Like, I'm watching the movie.
Sleeping. Like this.
And excuse me, ma'am. I'm like, can I
help you?
What do you think you're up to over there? Pay attention to the theater.
My bad.
And Harris, like, you literally got me red-handed trying to secretly, like go to sleep for a minute. Just trying to doze off for a moment. I'm like, you're not on my watch.
Also, I'm very anti-sleeping in movies. Brett always falls asleep. And I'm like, how are you missing this?
People that fall asleep in theaters, no. I'm like, what were you that exhausted going into this that you, like, had to fall asleep in the middle of the showing?
The only reason I kind of let it slide is because, like I said, we have full blankets and we're fully relaxed.
No, you are full comfort for sure.
Full comfort. But he fell asleep during Shang-Chi, and we love Shang-Chi.
I mean, one of my number ones.
Yeah.
Number
really
ones. Could watch it a million times. Also, AGT just came out. Season premiere of the new season. Just came out yesterday. I only watched the first, 3 acts. One of them, I will show you, Meredith, a couple had me full goosebumps on the body. I can't wait to show you this, the British singer guy.
Oh!
Okay.
You don't even want to get me started on this because last night, I'm sitting right here. Well, not sitting, standing. Making dinner. I see your Snapchat because Steph sent me a Snapchat of her watching it.
AGT is on. We were like, oh my God, it's on.
And I literally had a panic attack and I told Brad, I go, oh my God, AGT. He's excited. I'm excited. We're in the midst of making dinner. We make dinner. We go back in the room. We both forget.
Of course.
And we're sitting there dicking around like, what are we going to watch? What are we going to watch? And I remembered this morning. And I go, and now I'm going on a trip.
I haven't finished
So I don't get to watch it with him until we get back.
We'll watch the first 3 acts, like where I left off at least. At least. Because you're going to love it. We love, I will pull up old clips on YouTube from other AGT performances. You guys, when I say literally get on the bandwagon for AGT.
We love AGT. We started it in college and we have never looked back.
because it just gets better and better and better. It's like incredible acts.
It was
really
like
fun.
our routine, like another kind of like the whole steak and broccoli and perfect margaritas. And every Tuesday night, Steph would come into my room and we would watch AGT.
AGT's on.
And Brett mounted my TV, and I used to have like this super. Remember my computer that was like just all super soft.
Yeah,
and we would get hooked on
loud,
and we be watching AGT.
And it's like if we were able to watch it like live, now we do because we have YouTube TV. But before, like, we would have been voting. We would have been the voters. I've never voted for, like, I used to be American Idol. We all were.
Oh, yes.
But I never actually, like, would text in and vote. Yeah. Or, like, we'd watch it the next day, and it's like, okay, obviously the voting's closed. But we were that into it, and we still are, to where, like, I could actually vote if I, like, got the mustard. What is it? The muster?
Yeah, muster.
To, like, mustard.
All right. Least favorite person. 1, 2, 3. Shin Lim.
Done
Come
deal.
on. AGT let us down a couple seasons back, and we're not over
And
it.
It's not personal, Shin Lim.
No, it's
just,
not.
You ruined 2 back-to-back seasons by winning when there was another group that deserved it.
And we do have this magician that comes to our events. He's like a resident at one of the casinos in Vegas, and he's super good. And one time we were maybe talking about Shin Lim to him. And he's like, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, I go, fuck Shin Lim. I'm like, but it's like, it's a joke because
it's a joke.
It's just because we wanted a different person to like act to win on the show.
We were very,
and then he happened to come back the next season and win the whole thing for like the All-Stars. And I'm like, enough.
Twice in a row.
I don't want the sleight of hand on this show. Like, that's fine in general. I think it's cool, like, in front of me to do it. But watching it on a show, it's like, I want the big dance act or like something like, I want my breath
singers.
Away.
I want to be sobbing hysterically from the acts.
Yeah.
Tears running down this face.
So you better jump on the bandwagon. So Meredith is going to give us the rundown to kick off Gossip of the Week of Johnny Depp's trial and the verdict.
Give it to us, Mare. So Johnny Depp, well, here's the thing. I was going to be some big reveal. They both won their defamation cases. So Johnny Depp won his, Amber won hers. Big whoop. Obviously, you know, everyone's got their opinions on the whole case. I am Team Johnny, I will say. I think they both went through a lot.
I don't think, we agree
I feel like they both
are messed up as a people, as a relationship.
Problems.
I don't think anybody out of the two of them is remotely like not guilty in any charge. Like, or you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think they both have a lot of things they did wrong.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Johnny was never out of line.
No, absolutely.
But like, defamation itself is what we're talking about here, getting prosecuted, and I agree.
Yes, and also with the whole thing, like, just like the way the trial panned out, it's like, with Amber, you know, like, there was a lot of things that she was not looking too hot on. One of them being the donation piece, like, of her saying she's donating all this money to domestic abuse survivors. None of it was donated.
No.
And just like the clips of her saying, like, nobody's gonna believe you, Johnny, tell everybody, you know, like, a lot of it was not looking too hot on Amber's end.
Yep.
So the jury has been deliberating since before Memorial Day weekend, and we officially today at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. our time, right, as we sat down to film, we found out that Johnny Depp and Amber both won their defamation suits, which that technically contradicts what we said last time, because I just found out from my stepmom actually that they were doing the cases consecutively. Mm-hmm. So before we thought this is Johnny Depp's, then they're going to go to Amber's, they were actually doing both at the same time. So that's why they technically both won. However, Johnny Depp won more.
He won for $8 million or whatever. She won for $2 million. So technically he was suing for $10 million.
So they were actually both, Johnny sued for $50 million.
Oh.
Amber sued for $100 million.
Oh.
The jury gave Amber $2 million for her suit.
Like Johnny has to pay her $2 million.
Yep, and then they gave Johnny $10 million. Like, Amber has to pay Johnny $10 million. So the total is Amber owes Johnny $8,350,000.
Do the math. You know, mental math. That's not our biggest strong suit.
No,
definitely not mine.
No.
But cancels each other out here and there. A squared, B squared.
But if we're adding up money, Johnny gets more. So all around, not a great look for either one of them.
But at least it's
over.
Yep. It is. Let's tie it in a bow and call it a day.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have a little Bachelor Nation update. Mm-hmm. Becca and Thomas. Becca proposed to Thomas.
Yep.
Huh.
She said, because this is her third engagement. First it was Ari. Then he broke it off to get back with Lauren.
Oh.
Then it was
Garrett.
And that obviously kaput.
Didn't work out.
And then so this time around, she decided to propose to Thomas. And honestly, what's funny too, it's like, I never thought that this was even remotely going to get close to like a proposal of any sort. Even if like they were still dating, I would have been like another 5 years or something. Like it's our third engagement. But in general, like the way we left Bachelor in Paradise, where Becca and Thomas met, and the way it kind of ended, it was kind of like up in the air and weird. And it was almost like what I watched Thomas acting like on just that show, on the Bachelor in Paradise, which it's like, obviously we know producers are cutting it up, but it was almost like that was an easy option, an easy win, like to be with Becca, or you know what I mean? Like that was someone you're safe with to not get sent home.
The thing is though, is I actually took it the opposite way. I feel like by Thomas going after Becca, it wasn't an easy win.
Really?
Right, because I feel like what Becca was, she had just gotten done with all of that stuff. Her walls were up. Yeah. You know, it wasn't
but she's on Bachelor in Paradise. What do you mean her walls are up?
Right, that's true.
But I mean, like, it
wasn't giving me, it wasn't giving me, though, like, anybody from the new season that just came out.
Yeah.
That, like, is dying for it. You know, Becca's done her due diligence. Totally. Like, I feel like she was there to further her podcast. Yes. She was there to further her own image, as anyone would in the Bachelor Nation world. However, it's like, Thomas going after Becca didn't seem like an easy win to me, because I'm like, she's so over this whole 9 yards. She's there for her podcast, for her image.
Yeah, but she's trying to stay on the show, and I'm like, an easy win, like, for him to not get sent home throughout the episode.
I'm trying to think of, like, who I would think.
But then also, I'm like, another reason why I was just thinking that was, like, just going into that season, it was like we had just seen him on, I think it was Katie's season. Where they portrayed Thomas as like a certain kind of character, a certain kind of person, and I know they always pick a villain, and he was like one of the villains. So it's like he is a smooth talker. We've seen him do that. Like where that's why watching him on Paradise, I was thinking like I still don't really believe anything that's coming out of her mouth, and like, oh, but Becca, but like she likes you. You know you're not getting sent home in that scenario. But then now seeing how it's like panned out, I'm like, that was just me having like the producers, like what they produce. Right. That stigma's still stuck in my head watching him do that. But clearly, I guess he's been telling the truth, you know? Like, there are, like, actual genuine feelings there.
Well, especially because remember when we watched Katie's season? We were with Katie the whole time of, like, Thomas is a smooth talker. He's manipulating a little bit. But remember how she sent him home? And we were like, okay, this is a little bit much. Yeah,
like, he's definitely a smooth-ass guy.
But, like, what he actually said and did was not really that bad. It was just more of, like, the sleazy and slimy.
That's what it is. It's like a car salesman. But technically, he really never, like, did that much wrong. Like he wasn't honest, like straightforward about some things. Like that he was the one that was putting the rumors around and things like that. Like he definitely had some questionable things. But overall, it's like
he just reminds me of a guy that has been like popular and wanted his whole life, where he just gets away with everything. Yeah, I don't think he's a bad person. I don't know if that's really a fault to him. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's a bad person.
I think Becca would not be with somebody if they were a bad person. Like, 100%. And I think at this stage, if she's gonna propose to him for her third engagement, it's gotta be the real deal.
I actually liked that she proposed. At first I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, like how that. But after seeing the whole thing and like the reasoning behind it. You know, like her third engagement, taking back the ownership of the engagement. And also, it's like, why not? Yeah. Who cares? She's had the ring. She doesn't need it. She doesn't care. Yeah. And they're going to get her one anyways. Yeah. And also, it's like, I kind of like it. I don't know. Well, do you know Chip Girl on TikTok? She's the girl that has the chip in her hand that like lets her into her house. Yep. She proposed to her husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like definitely not a me thing personally at all, ever. No. But I could see it with Becca, and I get that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's bad,
and especially like the fact that she has had the 3 engagements. And it's not even for her. I feel like at this point about the engagement, it's more of like, I just
want to be with you forever. So. And you know what? I am stamp of approval.
I am also all for like, why don't guys get engagement rings, or like at least they're like one of the reasons they get a band, or like make them like I don't even know, but like. Where it's like, why do you get to walk around acting like you're single and you are not hitched, bitch? It's like, we have a venue and it's worth how much money? Yeah. I got my dress secured. It's like, where's your fucking ring?
I bet that would save a lot of relationships when guys go on bachelor trips.
But if they have to have a ring so they're not cheating, then you probably shouldn't be getting married anyway. Yeah.
Okay. And then here we are, peeps, the final topic of the hour.
The Siesta Key Finale.
Woo! We got the wedding.
And honestly, you guys, even if you haven't watched Siesta Key, let's just buckle up real quick because we're going to snapshot through it. I mean, I'm excited.
I am excited as well. And also, nothing I love more that, like, when I'm watching the show and then stuff is unfolding on social media.
Oh. It's all coming. It's all piecing together.
It's coming together.
Yep. So, first of all, let's kick it off. Siesta Key Finale. It was the last episode, and it was about, like, Madison and Ish's wedding and all of the drama throughout the night, which the fact that there's even drama at their wedding, like, blows my mind. Also, let's just...
As maid of honor of your wedding, I will be literally body...
Literally, like, we are crisis control, like...
There shall be no fighting. We'll be having good vibes and good vibes only.
Whoever's the bride out of us is not going to hear about it. Any negativity, you're not allowed in the room.
No.
Like, it is nothing but bliss for the bride.
100%.
But Madison and Ish's wedding, gorgeous wedding. And, I mean, the fact that they have this memory, because obviously there's a sadness to it of where, like recent after this wedding, they had their stillborn, Elliot, their baby, like, passed away. And she was pregnant at this wedding. We've talked about that. So it was really cute for them to be able to, like, get all the memories of, like...
And Madison did make a post on Instagram saying, like... Because obviously, like, a lot of people are like, is this super hard for you? Or do you like seeing this? Mm-hmm. And she said that it's, like, the biggest blessing that, like, all of this was captured. Because she's, like... She gets to see how happy she was with Elliot. Yeah. You know, it's, like, even though he ended up passing away, it's, like, she gets to see all the happy moments.
Yep. And then we can dive into some of the gossip. We kind of broke it down person to person and then where they're at now. So let's kick it off first with, so we have Juliet and Clark. And then we have Sam and Megan, okay? Juliet's new man is Clark. Sam's new bitch is Megan.
Okay.
And so they're all at different tables whenever they're mingling. And Sam decides, you know what, it'll be mature of me to come and, like, introduce myself to Juliet's new guy, Clark. And... like, it was definitely awkward, but Clark handled it super well, super easy breezy. Like, he is Mr. No Drama, he's not a part of this friend group anyways. Like, he doesn't know the history. And Sam cannot fathom seeing Juliet with another guy, even though he's springing on the girl that's been the issue this whole time. And Sam and Megan leave before dinner.
No.
And, like, they say goodbye to Madison and Ish, and they're like, you're leaving? And it's like... dinner hasn't even been served, and the whole point of RSVPing is because they're paying for your plated dinner.
Yeah, food.
You have to at least sit through dinner and then you can leave. Like, the fact that you couldn't fathom, because then he texts Mike, his buddy, that's dating Juliet's best friend Lexi, and he texts Mike being like, I'm sick seeing Juliet with this new guy. Like, I literally can't even see it.
Oh, but you can post the next day with your new girl.
But you can, within 24 hours of breaking up with Juliet, have her and all these other girls on your yacht all over social media in her face. It's like, don't cry me a river. It's like the victim.
Cry me a river.
Cry me a river. Anyways, and then, so then we move on, Lexi and Mike. Okay, Juliet's best friend is Lexi. Sam's best friend is Mike, and Mike and Lexi are dating. And
I hate Mike.
No, I mean, what a vulture makes, like, you are just like, you're mean and vindictive, and like, it's just, like, comes from a nasty place.
He's gatekeeping his best friend. Yeah. You know, where it's, like, he is.
Yeah. Like, 100%, because if like, Sam is with Juliet, then it's like, oh, he doesn't get a bunch of random bitches on the yacht with him then.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm like, you want
like, he spends more time with Juliet instead of Mike, so it's like, that's why he hates Juliet.
He wants full attention from Sam, and it's
that's
like,
dude. That's how it always goes. When the best friend is that mad, it's like, you know... yeah. This is not a mutual friendship. It's like, you clearly are, like, wanting more from Sam. You know, it's like, Mike, you are always looking for your side of things. It's like, can't have Juliet with Sam, because then Sam and Juliet are happy and they're calm, and Sam isn't partying all the time.
And always having to expose what anybody's doing on Instagram. I'm like, literally, dude.
But the second they break up, it's like parties and girls. But also, that's the worst part of this all. It's like, if I was Lexi watching the show, when Mike is like, yeah, let's get a ton of girls on the yacht, it's like, you have a girlfriend. And she's literally watching this.
And the fact that the episode before the finale or whatever was where Juliet was like, the way that Mike is speaking to me, Lexi, like, you are my best friend. There is literally no way Adam or Brett would talk to either of us that way. Exactly. So the fact that he's like, I would never even talk to Adam's friends that way.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Even the way he acts in general too, Lexi is concerning.
It's very concerning. And what he says behind her back, I go, it must be like,
how do you literally watch this show of your boyfriend where he's saying, let's go get a ton of girls on the yacht? How do you not be like,
and is posting it all day while knowing damn well that Lexi is at the girls' pool party with Juliet and being like, with no boys, and Lexi has to see that you're posting all of this, like, and
you're the one posting it, ruining Juliet's life at the moment. You know, it's like making everything 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, and at the wedding, Mike says, like, it's literally Mike, Juliet, Clark, and Lexi standing around this, like, cocktail table, and Mike literally, I'm not gonna do it.
Do it. Let her rip.
His little baby one. I almost did. And then, so it's like literally the four of them standing there. It's not even like he's saying this behind Clark's back to Juliet's new man's Clark. Literally, Mike is like, I don't care about you as a person, as a human. He's like, you mean nothing to me. You are only here for a blip in time. And the fact that he keeps, every single time he's got to talk about Juliet, and even when Juliet is standing right there, he speaks for her. Like Juliet is standing right there, and he's saying to her new boy, like, you don't know this girl. Like, she gets so nasty when she's drinking. I mean, just vile the way that he is talking about her. I'd be like, actually, I can speak for myself. I know where I've been wrong in the past. I know where I've acted out. As if you're an angel. And it's like, you're saying these nasty things about me in front of me, your girlfriend, who's my best friend, and my new guy. And it's like, as if I'm invisible. I would have flipped the table at that point. I would have been, the next time you speak on my character, you're done.
As if, like you said, as
like,
if you were
an angel. Like, you are nasty and vile as well, the way you're acting. Like,
for real.
Oh my, what? It's like, what is your vendetta against Juliet? You are jealous of Juliet,
He's
dude.
a vile vulture, ladies.
Yeah, you're jealous. You are jealous of that girl. And then, just to come to find out that we're seeing in the recent Instagram or like posted on social media.
Let's unpack that a little bit. After this entire Clark and Mike fight,
which
on
obviously
the wedding,
this was all like recorded like
a while ago. I don't care because it's like just last night we saw on Mike's story him with Julia and Lexi and Clark on a yacht at night.
And purposely like posting Clark too. Like,
yes, Clark is very much a part of the story.
Fun weekend with everybody.
So I go, and they're all in Miami where Sam lives. So I go, Sam's not on the boat. You're Sam's best friend, and now you're with Clark that you said you hate and want nothing to do with.
That you literally, as a person, he does not exist.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, but now you guys are buddy-buddy and you can post him? So what's going on here? Like, I think something's up with him and Sam for sure. He hasn't been they have not, it's only been Sam posting about Jordana.
Yes.
Now moving on to Chloe. Chloe was on her absolute worst behavior this episode.
See, Chloe's another person, like, with the whole Mike, Amanda. It's like, I love Chloe, but also if I was Chloe, or if I was dealing with Chloe, if I'm on the opposite end, I'd be like, you care way too much.
Oh my God, for sure. Like, this is like where she doesn't understand why everybody is doubting her newfound like godliness. And it's like, well, here's one of the examples as to why nobody believes you, because on her absolute worst behavior, out for blood.
Out for blood.
Literally out for blood. I mean, kicking it off with just like the other girls with, there's like the Kara and Jordana group, and then there's Juliet and Chloe and Amanda, their group or whatever. And I mean, they're at different cocktail tables and they are just bitching about each other, but like loud enough to where each other can hear. And so they're all getting mad about it. And then, I mean, a couple digs Chloe had. So, Megan, Sam's new gal, she's wearing, Sam's new piece of jewelry, always got the bling on the neck. We've seen Juliet get that on top of the Hummer or the Range Rover, the new boobs. And, but she's got the new necklace. And so first thing that Chloe says when she says hi to Megan is, where'd you get the necklace? How'd you get that? Mm-hmm. And Megan goes, I bought it. She goes, literally doubt that, which I agree with her. I go, Chloe is the kind of person that I would love to be on my side. Like a friend I would love to have as long as she's always on my side. Then we have Kara, where Kara finally is trying to talk to Chloe, and she's like, why do I keep hearing my name coming out of your mouth? Like, we are not friends. We never will be. We both get that. But you will not drop me.
Yes.
Like the conversations at the cocktail tables where they're all bitching, they're talking about Chloe and Chloe's talking about Kara.
Yeah.
And for what? And, but when Kara walks up to Chloe, first of all, Chloe says to her boyfriend, Chris, who's trying to get her no more drama. Yeah. Let's be yogi centered. And he says to Chloe before she goes to talk to Kara, and Chris says to Chloe, try to be the bigger person and diffuse the situation. And Chloe's like, for sure. And then the first thing she says to Kara, as Kara walks up, she's in her wedding attire, whatever the wedding dress, or not wedding dress, but
a cute wedding dress.
Yeah, cute dress.
And then with a blazer.
Yeah, she's got the oversized blazer over her shoulders, clearly for the outfit. And Chloe, first thing out of her mouth, not hello, nothing. It is, you chilly? You got a coat on. You got a coat on, you cold? And Kara's just dead silent looking at her we're going to move past that comment.
Oh, yeah.
We're just the dig after dig. I'm like, Chloe,
I aspire to literally have the demeanor of Kara when I'm fighting.
When you're fighting.
Where she does...
Without saying a word, she makes everybody explode to where they're the bad guy. Just by literally being dead, like nothing, no emotion on her face.
You can't get her to raise her voice.
No.
You can't get her
if anything, she just by looking at you makes you feel this big. Literally this big.
Where I'm like, I always, I just like, I take it to heart. I'd be like, what do you mean by that? Kara's just dead silent. Like,
be like, what is that look on your face? Like, tell me what this means.
That's why
Are you disgusted with me? Because you make millions of dollars and I'm like the scum of the earth to you?
That's why Kara was like the worst enemy for Juliet.
Yeah.
Because it's like Juliet
so
pops
emotional.
off within 2 seconds and Kara literally makes her brain explode.
Oh, it's so infuriating, but I love it out of her. Yeah. And like that conversation did not go well at all. It ended with Chloe screaming at her, she's a vindictive, B word, hold on, yeah. She let her rip. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
okay.
No problem. So let's do a quick little where are they now?
Who do you want to start with?
Let's start with Garrett and Kenna,
okay.
which this comes up with a little bit of tea we saw on Instagram recently. So this is Garrett and Kenna's last season on the show.
Not their choice.
Not their choice.
He threw some shade a little bit to MTV of them like not seeing like him and Kenna's relationship as like they didn't see the vision of their plot line. Right. Because there was no drama there, he's saying. Yeah. Where it's like, and I get that, where it's like they want a couple or like whoever's in the show there's gotta be a ton of riffs of things happening in anybody's relationship. Him and Kenna don't have that, and they've been working really hard.
And they're engaged. Yeah, they're happy,
like in bliss.
The only people that are mad are Garrett's guy friends that are mad he can't go to the gym all the time.
I know.
It's like, guys, come on.
We've gotta grow up a little bit.
Like they're like, Garrett can't go to the freaking gym
he's
anymore.
He's like, so I think me and Kenna are gonna move in, and Will's like, so what does that mean for me?
Yeah.
My family's supposed to be in town. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are we gonna do? And it's like, he's like, well, you gotta move out. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but like, I'm fully getting engaged with somebody. Like, we gotta move on. We're not bachelor pads anymore. You're not 18.
And also, it's just like, it all goes back to, being able to balance the friendship and relationship. Like, we have never had that issue. We've never had it with Tess, Allie, where it's like, just as long as we're getting our due diligence and our friend time, it's like it
doesn't have to be one or the other.
But there are so many people that are like that though, where it's like all or nothing. It's just prioritizing. Yeah. It's like we prioritize our friendship.
Right.
Always. Even when we lived across the country.
Totally.
We did. It's like we prioritize it. So it's like we've never had that feeling.
I think it's also like I think it's definitely like where it's like I think Garrett and Kenna are like so in the honeymoon phase where they're not balancing it well 100%, at all. And I get that irritation from his buddies of being like, I also exist.
Exactly.
What happens if you guys break up? Like, I'm here too. Like, you're gonna come running back.
There's no balance.
And so I think Will and them can't also compartment. I think it's both the situation where Will can't be like, Kenna can also be included on some things we do. If they want to spend time together as well, why wouldn't you want your significant other there?
Totally.
But also, I think Garrett trying to balance, he needs to balance that better.
Will
Because does Kenna have a group of friends?
Yeah, I think she does.
Girlfriends? She must.
The thing about Will is he's placing his anger wrong.
Yeah.
He's placing it on Kenna as if Kenna's come in because she's the outside element.
Yes.
Kenna came in and Garrett changed.
And that's the easiest person to be angry at.
Exactly. So it's like he's got his anger with Kenna where really his anger should be with Garrett. And it's talk to your friend and say, hey, I'm feeling a little left out or neglected.
Or I would like to spend some time just alone with you.
Yeah, let's just go to the gym, just us. Yeah.
Because it's like, Garrett, you are their friend.
Yes.
And you are also dating her. It's not her fault. It's like, but he needs to set those healthy boundaries.
Right. And also with Will, it's like he doesn't know it, but all he's doing by talking shit about Kenna to Garrett and causing all these problems, you're just wedging it between you and your friend.
So now you're, like Garrett said, he's like, I literally don't want to have to pick between Kenna and you. Like, because I'm going to pick Kenna. She's my wife. Like, she's going to be my wife. But I think it's also a learning lesson, I think, for people too, where it's like, I think on some, like, of just noticing, like, where do they ever get alone time to do things that they like with the people that also enjoy that, where I don't have to always be that plus one, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, let them have their alone time. Or if you're the person that, like, you're the only one always bringing your significant other to, like, anything that you and your group or friends are doing, sometimes it's, like, maybe look in the mirror for a minute and being like, am I the person that's overdoing that and can't set the boundaries? Like, because it's also healthy for both of you to be able, because then eventually, like, especially when you're in the honeymoon phase where it's like, you like want to spend every single second together, but then once you're merging a little bit out of that and one of you might want to start doing a couple solo things or like just having a little bit of your own time or your own time with your friends, because it's a little bit different. But then when you're so used to only being you guys, how do you have that conversation? Because then it's taken badly or poorly of like, you don't want to hang out with me or spend time with me. But really, it's like you got to set those standards ahead of time of like that
100%.
independent time and solo friend time or family time is also important. And then let's move on to the fact that Sam moved to Miami. And then just to come to find out that Juliet is also moving to Miami.
Perfect.
But Sam also, let's remember, is moved to Miami and is living with Jordana. I do think like the amount of posting of like Sam and Jordana where I'm like, that is not even like remote, even though they're saying they've set the boundary of only being friends so it doesn't get weird. I don't believe it, first of all.
Jordana will pounce on that. And if Sam let it happen, he would literally.
Even when Juliet was with Sam, she was all over it.
She
like,
literally said to his face, if Juliet wasn't here, I would make out with you right now.
Been the case. And so like there's no way that's not happening. But I'm like the amount that they're posting of each other and like it's just down everybody's throats. I'm like,
it's the classic when you're banned from the group where it's like
the two other people have to be like, we're good.
It's like, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes.
You know, it's like they got banned from the group. They did stuff that pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of exiled where they're not really close with Mike. They're not close with Juliet. They're not really a part of it anymore. So it's like they got to show to everybody it doesn't affect us.
We're good. Like, and
we're good. We're posted 24/7.
And it doesn't scream to me the amount of posting of each other, like living together and in bed and things like that, that I go, at what, if you guys aren't ever going to be more than friends and you've set that boundary, then at what point have you opened it to like a space where somebody that you'd want to date would be like able to enter that realm?
If Sam got a new girlfriend, Jordana would be pissed.
Oh my, there is no room for it.
No.
Like, and also what girl would want to walk into that scenario and be like, so your roommate is a girl that you've previously hooked up with and
you guys like just casually are laying
I'm sorry,
in bed
and
together.
she's literally obsessed with you. And it's like obvious, it's fine. But I'm like, let's not pretend what we're not seeing here when I'm literally watching you guys post it. So whatever. And then Amanda has a new boyfriend.
Yeah.
What's his name? I forget.
I don't know.
But he's a cutie or like a beachy.
He's a beachy man.
Yeah. Cute for her. And the last thing really is there going to be a reunion?
And I bet there will be.
I literally can't wait as to what's going to happen.
After the Selling Sunset reunion, I go, let's hope the juices are flowing and the tea is piping.
Couldn't have said it any better. All right, Stitches, that is a wrap on this week's episode of We Want Gossip. Make sure to subscribe, hit like, and leave a review.
And we will see you snitches next week for another gossip update. Oh my God.
Oh, what's happened?
Oh my God, I almost spilled on my laptop. Let's go. Whew. She is.
Oh.
I'm scared.
I know.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Okay, we have a gossip update.